concrete walls. There's a place for us where we could go, where we could be alone. Between city lights, we don't have to hide. I wanna go, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? I can't understand why we can't hold hands, but they don't know what we have is real love. Aren't you sick and tired of having to hide? I know a place, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Livestream. I'm so happy that you're here with me, and I'm happy to be here with you as well. It is Sunday afternoon, and it is time. Can JB do the Running Man, though? I am of the right age that I do recognize what the Running Man is as a dance move. I do. I grew up in the world where the Running Man was a move that you do. I don't know if I should do the Running Man. I was never much of a dance. You know what? I'm not thinking that these are dancing shoes, kids. You know, I'm not so sure about that. We need to put some a little bit of MC Hammer, a little bit of Kid and Play. That's the right music. Bubby, you know Kid and Play? Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Oh, it's not a good color shirt to have chosen today. I kind of blend in with the background, don't I? Oh, well, this is what it is. Yeah, Bubby doesn't know who Kid and Play is. It's understandable. That's understandable. Yeah, let's take just a second here and let's educate the youth. Just take a second and educate the youth. Bubby. There you go. There you go. Now, Bubby. Now, don't give this away. Bubby, which of these two is Kid and which one is Play? I'm not even sure I know. Oh, what the fuck? What's going on with... Dang it. My, hang on a second. NVIDIA broadcast is having a little bit of a... Hold on a second. camera. What's going on? Are we good? Are we good? No, why did you... Oh, all my cameras got effed up. How about now? Restart the camera in any application that's currently using it. There we go. Okay. Oh, man. Kid and play. Oh. Let me tell you. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? And I don't want to get myself into any kind of like any sensitive topics about stereotypes, okay? Racial stereotypes. I don't want to get canceled. But who would have guessed that, I mean, that this guy with this complexion would have this haircut? That I would not. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. I don't know what his actual ethnic background is. I'm just saying, that is a hell of a tall... there we go. Hey, Bubby, how about crisscross? One S. How about crisscross, Bubby? You down with crisscross? Their whole deal was that they put their clothes on backwards. I don't know if you guys have heard, but crisscross will make you jump. Daddy Mac, they make you jump. The Mac Daddy also make you jump. They just wore their clothes backwards. That was their whole deal. I mean, they also rapped. So, you know, rocking the pager, the backwards pants. That was their deal. That's what made them stand out. See, I'm not joking. Look. Pants backwards. That was their thing. So, you know, Bubby, as you're thinking about like what to do to raise the level of your brand, consider wearing your... what? I don't want to see no crisscross with their shirts on the right way around. That's not why I looked up crisscross. What? It was all a lie. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that the jeans just had back pockets sewed on the front and actually had a regular waistband? My whole life is a lie. My whole life is a lie. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Oh. I introduced, I hang out, I don't know if you know this, but I do hang out over on the Young Rippers Discord. Introduced them to some new musical artists the other day. Anybody out here know who Mickey Avalon is? There's only one Mickey Avalon song that's remotely appropriate for the Young Rippers. It was in context, trust me. I told him I'm not responsible. If you look up any other Mickey Avalon songs. That's on you. Don't look up Mickey Avalon. Okay. Well, I didn't know. I think Bardwell knew who Mickey Avalon was. Oh, I've seen some things. Not as many things as Mickey Avalon, but I have seen some things. Mickey Avalon did the intro song from The Hangover? I didn't know that. Well, it's nice to hear he's getting work. Oh, man. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. People say I saw somebody post on Botgrinder's video. It's like, you're the only person in FPV who's like having fun. I feel like I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I guess not in my normal videos, just on my live streams. That's why you're here. To have some fun. We're having fun, right? Are we having fun? Oh my god. Hold on. I have to immediately fix Nightbot. Nightbot is still doing the doing the timers from the Raid Shadow Legends stream. Disable. Oh my god, can we not do that? I apologize. I apologize so much for leaving that going. I was like, who's chatting about Raid Shadow Legends? Okay. All right, that's done. That's done. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. Oh man. Bubby, put the headphones on, Bubby. Come on, you're in public, right? Put the headphones on if you're in public, you're listening to a stream. I'm just going to start swearing loudly. Mike Bergman says, I thought you were just keeping up the Raid Shadow Legends promo to make that paper. Hey, Mike, they paid me. They got what they paid for. I'm not doing any more work for free, Mike. That's not happening. Oh. How are the analytics of the Shadow Legends stream? Asks Dave Sherman. Dave, I don't know if they got their money's worth out of that stream. I can't imagine that they did. I mean, I am thankful that they made good on their end of the deal. Let's have a look at the analytics from my Raid Shadow Legends live stream. Minus 21 subscribers. There's $5 in chat revenue, but obviously there's no ads. 5.8 thousand views. But not that... Yeah. It's not that great. Not that great. But, I mean, at 5,000 views, they're paying a $20 CPM. Is that right? $1,000 divided by 5,000 views divided by 1,000. No, times 1,000. Divided by... It's CPM. It's cost per 1,000 views. Oh, no. I got it completely wrong. It's cost per 1,000 views. So $1,000 divided by 5. They're paying a $200 CPM. That's pretty high. A typical CPM is about $15 to $30 for a tip, just round numbers. So they're overpaying. They overpaid for that sponsorship. 21 people unsubbed. Now the thing is, every single live stream I do has about 10 to 15 unsubs. Apparently, some people just are like, oh, this guy still exists, and then they unsub me when they see my live stream. So that's actually not that unusual to see negative. Like, here's last week's live stream. Last week's live stream, minus 4 subs. That's, okay, go away. Like, how about the June 20th live stream? Minus 5 subs. Okay, so minus 20 subs is a little bit more than usual, but I don't know why. Anyway. Anyway, I don't assume they're going to come back and sponsor me again after that showing. But there you go. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about FPV, right? That's what we're talking about. We're going to talk about FPV. And I'm going to be taking your questions. I'll take your questions here. I'll take your questions from the Discord server. Yeah, I will. Hello, patrons. I'll take your questions here as well in the chat. Gregory Carr, is the QAVS X plate interchangeable between the Johnny and the JB? The arms are interchangeable, but I'm not sure about the X plate because we changed a little bit about the layout of the frame. I'm not sure, but good news. I'm pretty sure that we just got stock. Big announcement. Big announcement. No, not that one. The JB edition. Is it Bardwell? Hello. Not the bind and fly here, the frame, please. It's in stock right now. The frame is in stock. It's been out of stock for months. They told me that one of the machines that they used to cut the frames broke, and so they couldn't make as many frames as they're used to making. If you're looking for spare parts for a JB frame, it is in stock right now. I haven't made an announcement about it, so get it while you can. Yeah. Is it possible to get a barometer working again after it's been conformal coated? Asks John Solo. John, so I don't know, but I would maybe try an acetone soak. So I would try an acetone soak and cross your fingers. Acetone will dissolve the conformal. It's just a question of whether the acetone will damage the barometer, and I don't know. Cool. Is it safe to use a slightly dented at the corner LiPo? The internal resistance and the voltage are good. Yeah, it's probably fine. Mako FPV, right. You would need to get the silicone out of the hole in the barometer chip, and soaking in acetone probably would do it. I just don't know if there would be any permanent damage. Won't acetone remove the solder mask? I don't know. Will it? Is that bad advice? Will acetone remove the solder mask? I mean, you could do alcohol, but alcohol doesn't dissolve the conformal quite as well. Use a lighter. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. Lacquer thinner, says Mike Bergman. Acetone might be a little aggressive. Maybe just a splash of acetone. I would use alcohol, but I've been told that alcohol isn't as good as other solvents. Try tweezers. Maybe try tweezers and stick the tweezers in there just a little. I think acetone is safe to use on solder stuff, isn't it? Yeah. Synapse, the frame is in stock, but the replacement X plate is out of stock. Just broke my X plate yesterday. Synapse, I got to tell you, in this day and age where it's so difficult to find things in stock, I would just buy a spare frame. I know that hurts because you would rather spend whatever $6 for the X plate than $70 for a whole new frame. But here's the thing. You're going to spend $6 for the X plate. You're going to spend another $5 in shipping. And like if you buy the spare frame, you get 4 spare arms and a spare X plate and a top and a bottom plate. So of those things, you're probably going to like break an arm. You're probably going to. So it's just from the perspective of shipping, you should just buy a spare frame. But the reality is that they're struggling to stock the frames. They can't keep the frames in stock, so they're not going to be breaking the frame kits apart to make spare parts as long as the frames are selling out. And it sucks, but that's just where it stands right now. Yeah. It sucks, but that's where it stands right now. We got a question here from Unfair Animal that I want to take. Unfair Animal, thank you so much for being a patron over in the Discord server. I'm running a Mamba F722 Mini with iFlight GPS, Betaflight 4.3, D-Shot 300, BlueJay ESC firmware. When I hit return to home, the quad turns around, gains altitude, starts heading home. Oh, sounds great. Well, I'm sure that's the end of the question. Let's keep reading. It's followed by a failsafe, damn it. Oh... Goodness gracious. Hey, Julian, if you quote that username that is spamming, there is a fair chance I'm going to mistakenly think you're spamming and ban you from the channel accidentally. So be careful. Julian, look. Julian, what I saw was... Hang on. I don't want Julian. Julian, this is what I saw. So first, here comes the spammer. Cover your eyes, children. And then I see Julian post this, and he's like, what the F? Bots in the YouTube live. Who can believe it? But all I see is this, and I immediately almost banned you, Julian. So, oops, be careful about that. All right? All right. Don't just leave them alone. Oh, yeah, I can ban people. Did you guys not know that? What happens is it's a shadow ban. You can still leave comments. It's just no one sees them. It's great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic because you generally don't know that you got banned, but I never see you again. So you think you're trolling? You're like, oh yeah, I got him good. I don't know you exist. It's fantastic. Frenzy Incarnate, yes, you are banned. No one can see your messages. No, that's a joke. Continuing the questions. What, did Tweet FPV read the instructions on the bottle? What did you come up with, Tweet? It lists acetone as a solvent to remove it. Yeah. That's why I said acetone, didn't I? That's what I said. I knew there was a reason I was saying acetone. Okay. Did I say acetone? Why is this quad fail-safing from Unfair Animal? Probably what's happening is that it is a sanity check is failing. And when Betaflight fails sanity checks, then it just disarms during GPS rescue. Unfortunately, there is no way in Betaflight when GPS rescue fails to know why it failed. You have to just guess. Betaflight devs, will you please, when GPS rescue leaves GPS rescue and the quad disarms, will you please show us information in the OSD that lets us know why it disarmed? There are no error messages. There's no warnings or error messages. It's just, I was in the middle of a nice return to home and it fell out of the sky for no reason. And it's a real oversight. And I know the Betaflight devs are very busy and working for free, and of course, but my God, it's a real oversight to have a case where your quad falls out of the sky and you have no tool to find out why it did that. So, unfortunately, Unfair Animal, all we know is it's likely that you didn't fail safe. It's likely that you had a sanity check fail, but which sanity check failed is essentially impossible to figure out without a lot of trial and error. You could turn sanity checks off. So one thing you could do is you just go into the GPS tab and turn sanity checks off. And then when you manually trigger GPS rescue, it should not do a sanity checks, but you have to be able to take over again manually if it starts to go the wrong direction. There's a question in here from I didn't see who saying, I have been randomly selected to win something. What does it mean? Nothing. It means nothing. There are, in case you didn't know, there are scammers all over YouTube right now. They create a new account. They take the YouTube creator's user picture, and then they go all over the channel saying, you've been selected. Contact me on Telegram. And then they try and get you to give them money. It's a lie. It's a scam. And the number one thing, and it sucks that people fall for it, I ban the accounts as soon as I can, but they sometimes get through. So what you guys need to see is, this is an incognito window. Let's find my own account in an incognito window. What you guys need to see is, if you look, where is my account? Where's my, have I commented on this? Not at all? No? Okay. How about this one? Have I commented on this one? No? Really? Surely I commented on this one. There we go. Look here. Do you see that this account has a gray outline around it and a check mark next to it? That means it's a verified account. That's me. Another account impersonating me will not have those verified check mark. In order to get that verified check mark, you literally have to send them a picture of your driver's license and other things to let them know that you really are you. So if anybody tries to talk to you and say you've won a prize, if it isn't verified, then you should be extremely suspicious. Okay? All right. Sorry that you're getting... Some people, I hope no one has lost money, but some people probably have, and it sucks. How do you get verified? You have to have an account with so many subscribers. I don't remember what the characteristics are, but you have to have a big enough account, and then you apply for verification, and then they make you send them documents, physical documents, that verify that you are who you are. So that's what that's for. But a lot of people don't know that exists. Let's take a super chat from Philly Style FPV. Philly Style, thank you for a $2 super chat. How do I make the fourth DJI 50 meg channel not public? You can't. It doesn't work like that. Channel 8 with the DJI system is always the public channel. It's in 50 meg mode. Channels 1, 2, and 3 are 50 meg. And channel 8 is 25 meg and public. There is no way to change that. Cat and Bry, the way the scam works is that they say that you've won a prize like a drone. They make the prizes actually pretty plausible. They say you've won a drone, and I know this because people have sent me screenshots of the conversation with the scammer. They say you won a drone, and then they tell you which shipping method would you like. And each of the shipping methods costs between $60 and $200. And then you send them money for the shipping, and then, of course, you don't get your drone. That's the scam. Daniel Harmon says, DJI Goggles V2 used to work fine. Did a reset, now terrible range, 2 red bars after only 30 meters, can't get unlocked, angle mode disappeared. Okay, so hang on. It sounds like you messed up your MSP connection somehow. So the unlocked, the reason you're losing range after 30 meters is because temperature protection is enabled. You need the MSP connection to work in order for temperature protection to disable. I have a video. DJI FPV very short range. Your MSP connection might be why. This is the video you need to fix this. Let's see. Daniel Harmon. Daniel Harmon. There you go, man. You got to get your MSP connection working. Without your MSP connection, your OSD won't work, and your system will stay in temperature protection mode, and you'll get very short range. Tim Barth is having an issue with HD0, where when he arms, he gets terrible noise. Let's look at Tim Barth's question. Here's that HD0 screen. Alrighty, and he's going to arm, and let's look at what happens. 25, and none of that really matters. Keep going. Come on, Tim. Show us what you got. Max, but it doesn't really matter. Max power, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And arm. Arm. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow, that's really bad. That is really bad. Hang on, I have to hide another. I have to ban another spammer. Okay, so Tim, your issue there is first. That's really bad. First of all, you definitely want to be using a capacitor, and a lot of people will actually install a very small capacitor directly on the HD0 VTX. In addition to having one on the ESC. But that's so bad. I haven't seen it be that bad in a while. So I think that's unusually bad and might reflect a problem with the VTX or an ESC. Are you powering it from VBAT or a regulator? If you're powering it from a regulator, then that's pretty extreme. But Tim, the issue is electrical interference, electrical noise from the ESCs when the motor starts spinning, then creates noise issues with the VTX. A small capacitor, like not even that big. What's the common sizes? Microfarad, typically microfarads. Like maybe 100 microfarads, something in that range. Like 100 microfarads directly on the power wires, the power pads of the VTX could help. You may have a super noisy voltage regulator if you're using a voltage regulator, but you absolutely need a capacitor on the ESC for sure. Okay. Hope that's helpful. A4H quad's sake, if you see disarmed when you arm in the DJI goggles, you know that MSP is working. He said he wasn't seeing disarmed, though, so it tells me that MSP isn't working. Flow Hunter, I answer questions from the YouTube chat and from Discord. Yes, I do. Absolutely. I just answered yours, for example. But I definitely give a little bit of a priority to the super chats in the Discord since they're the ones who pay my bills. It goes all over the place. Like the question about MSP was from the YouTube chat. Solder connections, good point, Athix. Here's a super chat from Limitless. Thank you for $2.79 Canadian. What do you think of Sims? I am starting on them. I think Sims are great. Sims are fun to play. It's fun to compete and race. And Sims are useful for practicing. I think Sims are fantastic. Synapse, I answered your question, man. You don't need to be spamming the chat. What did didn't I answer your question? I answered your question, man. Now I'm done talking about that, and I'm moving on to something else. Okay. We got a question here from the Discord server from Wes Magyar. Thank you for being a patron, Wes. Appreciate that. Appreciate your support. I fly at my club field on occasion. Everybody there is using DJI, and occasionally I want to fly my analog drone. As soon as they power up, my video craps out. I'm using right-hand antennas, but no matter what I've tried, I can't really fly my quad. Is there anything I can do? Okay, I want to talk about the problem of DJI pilots and analog pilots stomping on each other. And the first thing I want to say is that anybody can stomp on anybody. There are a lot of salty analog pilots out there who are annoyed that DJI pilots are stomping on them, and there is something about the DJI system that is unique that means that DJI pilots can be unintentionally inconsiderate. But everybody needs to think about this. Everybody needs to be aware of this. Because unlike a technology like Wi-Fi, do you ever notice that nobody's Wi-Fi ever stomps on anybody else's Wi-Fi? Like, if your neighbor has Wi-Fi and you have Wi-Fi, then in some ways they could reduce the bandwidth that you get. That's true. If you have two Wi-Fi networks and they're on the same channel, and one person's downloading a bunch of files, they'll make your Wi-Fi slower. But there's never a case where your Wi-Fi is getting stomped on. Is it? I mean, is that the same thing? You oftentimes don't even notice because it usually just keeps working. But these protocols are not polite in the way that Wi-Fi is. They're not designed to interoperate with each other in the way that Wi-Fi is. So analog can stomp DJI, DJI can stomp analog. Here is why those DJI pilots are stomping you. The DJI goggles also transmit. Normally, with analog goggles, we don't think of the goggle location as being relevant. The pilots can stand wherever they want to stand. And with analog, the only problem is if you take a quadcopter and you move it close to the pilot, and then the transmitter on the quadcopter interferes with the receivers in the goggles. Okay? So the typical situation is that somebody comes over and they land right at their feet. Or they come over and they stand right next to you and they plug in. And their quadcopter blasts you and you lose video and you crash and then you go punch them in the back of the head. With DJI, though, the goggles also transmit. And that means that if you, an analog pilot, normally you'll have all the pilots just clustered up standing next to each other. And if you, an analog pilot, go stand next to a DJI pilot, their goggles will be blasting you, which is not something that a lot of people are aware of or expect. So if you are a DJI pilot and you are flying with a group of analog pilots, the polite thing to do is that you must go stand far away. You're in timeout. Because you are going to stomp them. And that is the price of having such good video. Oh, he's so good, isn't it? You don't even want to stand next to those analog pilots, do you? Ew. With their standard definition video. What if it got on you? So you are going to go stand 15, 20, 30 feet away. Like, I'm not joking about the distance. And then you're not going to be blasting them. The other thing that the DJI pilots should do as a courtesy is turn down to 25 megabits per second and turn down to 200 milliwatts. Because the higher, here's the thing. Let me look up this channel chart that's going to be super helpful. No, not that one. This one. Not that one. This one. So, if we look at this chart, thank you, Oscar Leong. Notice that the 50 megabit per second channels take up more space than the 25 megabit per second channels. Okay? So, if you've got somebody and they're flying analog on raceband 2, then you could theoretically power up on DJI 1 or DJI 3. But if you're powering up with 50 meg channels, you're going to take more space. DJI channel 2 is going to kind of stomp a little bit on raceband 3. They're going to overlap a little. Now, Wes Magyar says, it doesn't matter what channel I'm on. Okay, so here's the thing. If you are on channel, let's go back to this chart. Let's say that you're on raceband 1, okay? And there's a DJI pilot on channel 2, 50 megabit per second. Those channels are very far apart. They should not overlap. But the thing is, if the goggles get close enough to the analog pilot, they will overlap. Because this signal doesn't just stop right here. It just gets quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. Okay? So there is always off-band transmission. And if the signal gets strong enough, it will interfere even if you're on a different channel. Okay? So the first thing to do is DJI pilots turn down to 200 milliwatts. Oh, you'll get less range. Too bad. The second thing to do is DJI pilots turn down to 25 megabits per second. And the third thing to do is space out your channels. So DJI pilots are up on DJI channel 3 or DJI channel 7 are the highest ones. And then analog pilots are down on like 1, 3, and 5. And then the last thing to do is that the analog and the DJI pilots cannot stand near each other. And DJI pilots, you shouldn't stand near each other either. DJI pilots should always stand far away from anyone else who is flying. And that is sort of a summary of what to do. The other thing, Wes, is if the DJI guys are at 1200 milliwatts, that's going to make everything worse. Okay? That's going to make everything worse. So. FAMG FPV. Now, FAMG FPV says you can use 700 milliwatts. And personally, like in my experience, I've flown with analog people where if you were at 1200 milliwatts and 50 megabits per second up on race 8 and they were down at race 1, it was fine. So there's no hard line here. Like, I would bet you that if I was on race 8 and you were on race 1 and we got close enough together, I could manage to get some interference. So, let's see here. Drone poison. Drone poison. Wow. Drone poison says, I bought 2 brand new Radiomaster TX16S Mark II with AGO1 gimbals. I had an issue where the Express LRS module heats up and loses signal, fail-safing. Happened with 2 radios on 2 quads. Use the same quads with an external module, all was good. Have you seen or heard of this being an issue? No, Drone Poison, this is the first I've heard of that. I certainly can check with Radiomaster and see what the deal is, but this is the first I've heard of that being an issue. Drone Poison, what was the ambient temperature where you were at the time? What was the ambient temperature at the time? 100. Okay, well, Drone Poison, I mean, that might start to explain it. The internal module doesn't have a fan. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I assume Fahrenheit. Europeans, that's 38 degrees Celsius. I haven't heard of that, but it certainly could be because this is the first time when it has been very hot in the Northern Hemisphere since the product released. But that's the first I've heard of it. Forever wants to know, what's the best way to get battery voltage in the OSD with DJI? The DJI system supports that. They support battery voltage natively. You just need to get the to get the TX and the RX, the MSP connection working. JZEFPV wants to know, have you updated the Fat Shark Walk Snail goggle firmware since your last video? I have. And I have done a flight. And I am working on a video discussing the results. But I'm not ready to talk about the results yet. Rusty FPV asks, will you be doing a video on DJI and Walk Snail to see if there's any interference? Yes, they interfere the same as each other, Rusty. The real question, I don't know if we know an answer, is Walk Snail will detect other Walk Snail devices and avoid their channel. Will it detect DJI devices and avoid their channel? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to give that idea to Mads Tech in case I forget it. Mads Tech, video idea. Does Walk Snail detect detect DJI VTX and avoid channel? Good question. If he beats me to it, more power to him. Okay. We got a question here from Zubzub in the Discord chat. Thank you, Zubzub, for being a patron. Zubzub says, my pitch is working the wrong direction. I mean, Betaflight shows the correct direction for signals from the controller. So, Zubzub, your motor output protocol can't make... You're trying D-shot, 1200, multi-shot, etc. That can't make just the pitch axis work backwards. Okay? You say that the receiver tab shows that the pitch axis is working correctly. I'm going to take your word for it. Is there a board alignment issue that could cause just pitch to work backwards? Where's my spare flight controllers? Oh no, they've disappeared. Where'd my spare flight controller go? Here it is. I gotta fiddle with this in my hands. Oh, make a soundbite of that. He says that the channel is working going the right direction. I'm going to try to figure out if having the flight controller upside down could cause this. So give me a second here. I'm going to assume, the very first thing I would check is to go to the receiver tab and see that the pitch channel moves the right way. Okay? Look here in the 3D model. Yes. So the very first thing to do is look here in the 3D model. This flight controller doesn't have a receiver, so I can't demonstrate this. But move the sticks and see that the 3D model moves the right direction. If the 3D model doesn't move the right direction, your controller is messed up. So let's assume that the 3D model does move the right direction. Well, I think in order to have just the pitch axis messed up, it would have to be upside down. So hang on. We'll go to setup. We'll reset Z-axis here. And it's moving the right direction. So if it was flipped, if it was flipped on the pitch axis, that wouldn't change anything. If it was flipped on the yaw axis, then both pitch and roll would be backwards. So it must be flipped on the roll axis. If it's flipped on the roll axis, then yaw is correct, roll is correct, but pitch is backwards. That has to be it. So but then, why does it fly at all? It shouldn't fly at all then. You shouldn't be able to hover it at all. If that was the case, then it wouldn't hover. You must have a receiver problem. You must have a receiver or a controller problem. I can't think how you don't have a controller problem. If it was yaw 180, it does not fly. Oh, it flips out. Okay, Zub, you got a board alignment problem. That has to be it. You got a board alignment problem. The drone flips out on activation. Oh, got it. Okay. Here you go, Zub. Here's how to fix it. No. It doesn't fly at all. It flips out. It means he's got a board alignment problem. Yeah. Your board alignment is wrong. Yep. Okay. How does he know just pitch is reversed then? Maybe he's able to get a little bit of movement before it flips out? I'm not really sure. Or it could be motor direction. That is correct. Here's a full check, a full list of things to check. Okay. Yeah, when he said pitch was backwards, I assumed it meant it flew. Philly Style, there is no way to make Channel 8 not be a public channel. I don't think so. Juan Carlos Ricardo, I am verified by Google. I am verified. I am verified already. I have verification. Okay. Yes, it's easy. I did it. Tommy Naus. Thank you for a $2 super chat. I have a question about model match in Express LRS. Okay. What is it? Did you leave the question somewhere else, Tommy? No. Tommy, you have to leave the actual question. Okay. Thank you for your donation, Tommy. Why would the model match function cause a receiver to not show movement in the receiver tab but give telemetry? That's how model match works, Tommy. If you have a receiver that is bound but the wrong model match number, you will still get telemetry from the receiver, but you will not get signal passed through to the quad. That's my understanding of how Express LRS model match works. I think you still get telemetry. Mads Tech, thank you for clarifying the issue that Philly Style is asking about. It's nice to know he's not crazy, but it does look like that what he's referring to is fixed. Captain Bry, I appreciate you being here, Captain Bry. I'm going to make you a moderator so your name turns blue. Certainly a luminary like Captain Bry, the Express LRS dev, should and more. Yeah, should be a moderator. Let's see here. Flow Hunter wants to know, which connector would you suggest for a modular swappable flight controller setup? SH connector is the most typical one for the signals. SH connector. And you would want to look at like the JBF 7V2 flight controller, some iFlight flight controllers, a few Rush FPV flight controllers. They have the ability to be 100% pluggable. So that would be good. Wotan asks, do you still use your DJI controller since the range isn't as good as Express LRS? Wotan, I do have some quads. Usually it's bind and flies or kits that someone sent me where they send it to me without a receiver and I just fly it with DJI. Mike Bergman, I'll tell you what, Mike. Mike, you're a moderator too. Mike Bergman is YouTube tells me that Mike Bergman is the single most popular commenter on my whole channel. So Mike Bergman, congratulations. You just got promoted to moderator. So I still fly the DJI controller sometimes. This recent range test that I did for the Walk Snail system, Fat Shark system, is the first one where I've ever fail-safed. Okay? So mostly I do still fly the DJI controller. It's not my preference. It's mostly laziness. But there you go. I do fly it. And it almost never fail-safes. Because by the time you fail-safe the DJI controller, the DJI video link is basically unusable. So it's only because I was trying to range test the DJI video link to the limit of its performance that I fail-safe the controller. Philly Style, thank you for $2 super chat. If you had to guess, describe DJI V3. A rumor that I've heard about the DJI V3 is that it is a single modular unit that will replace your high-definition action cam. Now, that's a rumor. But you asked if you had to guess. That is not sourced. That you should not take that. You should take that with a big grain of salt. That'd be kind of cool if it was true, though. If DJI took the guts of an Action 2, which is it's an okay action cam. I still think GoPro's better, but it's okay. If you could get a DJI FPV video link and a DJI Action 2 in a single unit, Well, would you rather just have a separate... I mean, is that better than just having a separate action cam? I mean, now you can't move it between... Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to guess that it's going to have 1080p. And the reason I guess that is that the DJI FPV drone has 1080p. Okay, it's 810p. It's not 1080. I'm going to guess it's going to have higher resolution. So, I don't know, though. I have heard, and I make a point of saying, people will say, hey, do you want to know something secret? And a lot of times I'm like, you know what? No, not really. Because then I'll want to go leak it. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I have heard people with the DJI V3 who say they have the DJI V3 say that it's pretty impressive. So we shall see. Don't know, though. Jeff Roach, thanks for $5 for all the helpful videos. Thank you so much, Jeff Roach. Yeah, put that money towards quads, Jeff. Super Deluxe, thanks for a $5 super chat. Have you seen the new GoPro? It's like a larger session with battery, etc. No, Super Deluxe. Where's that stuff? I want to hear more about a new GoPro with a larger session. I'm on the edge of buying more DJI actions, but if GoPro is going to come out with a better action cam, new GoPro. Super Deluxe, where is it? I can't find a leak. It's all just the Hero 10. Oh, yeah. That's what I need. A wrist mount for a GoPro. It's fantastic. Don't buy new cams yet. Damn it, Super Deluxe. Super Deluxe! Stop it! I have a trip to Portland in 2 weeks, and I'm literally about to drop $1,000 on DJI Action 2s. You're telling me I shouldn't do that. Because I'm not a huge fan of the way the DJI Action 2 looks. Yeah. I don't love the look of the DJI Action 2, but it is lightweight and durable. So... Tony Arcudi wants to know if I got... Thank you for a $4 super chat, Tony. Did you get my email today? I mean, maybe. Let's look, since Tony's going to super chat me. Currently, I have 36 unread emails. People getting scammed on Telegram. That hurts me. Oh. I am on Telegram. Oh, man. No, well, you don't have to remind me. I know. Oh. Let's see here. Where's Tony Arcudi? Well, Tony, I didn't get your email. I don't see an email from you, Tony. Arcudi. Oh, here we go. Turbine prop. Yes, I saw it. I don't have a thought about it. I don't have a strong thought about it. I will talk to Blunty about it. You sent it to me and Blunty. You've sent the same thing a bunch of times apparently. Oh, that video isn't available anymore. Tony wants to tell us about a turbine prop. Okay. I guess What is it? What's the point? You can spin a prop off of airflow. That's cute. What's the point? So this must be a pet project of yours, Tony. What is it? What is it, man? What's it good for? Anyway. Philly Style, thanks for a $2 super chat. Yeah, Chris Rosser's new prop video is pretty amazing. Samuel Fisher. The question I have, Tony, about this turbine, did I share that on screen, or did I only... Was that actually on screen? I don't know if anyone actually saw what I was looking at. So the question is, whatever is making this airflow, why not just have it spin the prop directly? That's the question. It's not like what you basically built here is a turbocharger. But I'm not sure that that's beneficial on a multi-rotor. But it's kind of cool. You basically looks like you've built a turbocharger. Okay. Now I have only 28 unread messages. Mako FPV, the problem is that you're not going to get a net positive thrust. Any energy that it's not like a gas combustion engine where you have all this waste energy being exhausted out the exhaust. A multi-rotor, you have electrical energy, and you don't have where are you going to get the energy to spin the turbine? I guess is the question. Samuel Fisher, thank you for a $3 super chat. Samuel's going to put his question in the Discord. All right. I don't see it. Is it? It's not Sam. Is that you, man? I bet it is. Mr. Fisher. There we go. Mr. Fisher asks, I have a Mobula 7 1S HD in which plugging in the battery sometimes acts odd. Half the time it works normally. A quarter of the time the battery voltage is listed as has half the voltage of the battery, and a quarter of the time the VTX is just static. Okay, so Tony, first of all, or Mr. Fisher, first of all, the battery voltage reading wrong is because Betaflight is mistakenly detecting it as a 2S battery. Okay? So if you have a Mobula 7, this happens with Tiny Whoops a lot. So what you need to do if you have a Tiny Whoop is you need to go into the power and battery tab, and you need to change the maximum cell voltage. This maximum cell voltage is how Betaflight determines whether you have a 1S or a 2S battery. When you plug in a battery that is charged to 4.35 volts, which is what many Tiny Whoop batteries are charged to, Betaflight notices that that battery is at more than the maximum, and it assumes that it's a 2S, and then your VBAT reads 1/2 the actual. Assuming that instead of VBAT you're using average cell voltage, which I'm guessing that you are. So if you have a Tiny Whoop, you need to change this to 4.4, and that should fix that. Then the average cell voltage will read correctly, and it won't mistakenly. You can see here in the power and battery, it will show the number of cells that it thinks are plugged in. Over here on the right side, where it says connected, it'll show the number of cells, and you can see that it's misreading your 1S as a 2S, and that's why the average cell voltage is half what it actually is. The VTX not working. Could be that it's not powering up. It could be that it's going to a different channel. You'll have to figure that out. It does seem like there's an issue with the flight controller. If the VTX doesn't power up, if you have static on the channel, scan all your channels and see if it's on a different channel. Okay. Thank you for the donation, and thank you for being a patron. Speaking of patrons, I can't think of a better time. It's now 1 hour into the stream. I just want to take a second to do a little plug for myself. Oh, look, the GDPR plugin is working. Oh, I accept all cookies from my website. This is my website. It's fpvknowitall.com, and it is the home of the ultimate FPV shopping list. Figuring out what stuff to buy in FPV can be one of the biggest challenges. And the goal of the ultimate FPV shopping list is to help you make better decisions about what parts are going to work for you. So in a bunch of different categories: 5-inch freestyle, 5-inch racing, 4-inch freestyle, sub 250 gram. In a bunch of different categories, we have recommendations for parts, as well as a lot of discussion about how we pick the parts and why we pick the parts that we picked. So there's a little bit of an educational aspect to it as well. These aren't the only good parts in all of FPV. There's other stuff out there. The goal is to keep it simple, to keep it reliable, and to help people who aren't sure what to get, what's going to work together, to help them make a better buying decision. Our latest page is a TinyWhoop page. We got a Cinewhoop page that's almost done. It's going to be exciting. Controllers and receivers. We got a whole bunch of different categories, as well as original photography by me. Look. Oh, that's my photograph. Oh. Anyway, that's my little plug there for my website. All of the links on the website are affiliate links, and so that's why are you doing it? Just for you notice there's no ads on this page? You notice there's no ads? I could run ads on this, but I don't want to do that. Instead, what I want you to do is I want you to click these links. And every time you click that link, nothing happens. You click that link, nothing happens. But you click that link and then you buy something and I get a little commission. And that sure means a lot. All right, that's my little plug for myself. Okay. Super Deluxe, what are you talking about? Yeah, anyway. All right, there's a little sponsor plug. You guys sponsor this stream. I also want to say one more thing. And Blunty is running my live stream clips channel. Oh, I'll tell you about that too. Hold on. I'm about to do something clip-worthy. If you guys don't get the chance to watch my whole live stream, and who can watch my whole live stream, go to Joshua Bardwell live stream clips on YouTube, and It's Blunty is cutting those live stream clips out and uploading them, finding the best parts of each stream, and making clips about them. And so I'd love to have you as a subscriber over there as well. In fact, I should subscribe. Why am I not subscribed to my own channel? Who am I logged in as? No, don't sign out. We'll go to my main channel. And I'll subscribe there. Ha-ha! Oh, I'm already subscribed on that one. My website's name is fpvknowitall.com. And I just want to say, for the record, I don't literally know everything. I don't literally know everything. I had somebody comment, and it was like, you don't literally know, you don't know everything. Yes, I know that. That's a brand. It's just a brand. In fact, it's not even a brand I lean very hard into. Like, way back when I was first going full-time, I was trying to come up with a brand for myself, and I came up with FPV Know-It-All, and I still like it. I still like it because, like, it's a little tongue-in-cheek. Know-It-All. Like, there's implied air quotes around it. I don't literally know everything, obviously. So I just like to say that it's intended tongue-in-cheek, kind of with a wink. And also, it's like you trying to Lay's potato chips. No one can eat just one, right? That's the old slogan for Lay's potato chips. Maybe it still is. It doesn't literally mean, aha, I ate two. I ate one. Okay. Maybe that doesn't need to be a live stream clip. I just end up explaining that enough times that it's like, it's kind of dumb. I think what people are saying is, you're kind of stuck up and I don't like it. And that's true. That's 100% true. I mean, I have a know-it-all vibe. I have an I'm so smart vibe. I get that. And that's why I made know-it-all. It's kind of intended as a little bit of a self-aware dig at myself. To say my brand is FPV know-it-all, quote unquote. I do not think that the Pringles slogan is... Pringles is once you pop, you can't stop. Lay's is no one can eat just one. I'm pretty sure. No one can eat just one. Bet you can't eat just one. Yeah. Bet you can't eat just one is Lay's potato chips. Pringles is once you pop, you can't stop. And that's why I am a know-it-all. Alrighty. Okay, let's get back to answering questions. TLO8 Tube. Thank you for $5 Canadian. I tried the Flywheel Explorer today with the full GoPro 6. That's a bad idea. It was losing control on turns. Too heavy? Yes, it's too heavy. You can't carry a full GoPro 6 on a Flywheel Explorer. No, that's not a good idea. Okay. Da Vinci Machen, thank you for a $5 super chat. I've got a Beta FPV Cetus Pro. One of 4 motors don't produce lift. I've changed the motor and the prop. Same problem. Do I buy more motors? No. No. Are you sure you don't have the prop on upside down? Like, here's the thing, Da Vinci. If the motor spins, it should produce lift, right? If the prop is on right and the motor's spinning, it should produce lift. So the first thing I would do is leave your props on. And I only say this because the Cetus Pro is a tiny little, I think it's 85 millimeter. So it's relatively safe and it's got prop guards. Go into the Motors tab in Betaflight and spin up that motor in the Motors tab and feel whether the motor is trying to lift itself up. And listen for whether the motor goes all the way to the top. Okay? Verify that the motor spins up and that the prop is pushing and thrusting in the right direction. If that isn't true, then the motor could be spinning the wrong way, in which case it would push the opposite direction. Maybe you've somehow managed to put the prop on the wrong way. On the other hand, if the motor makes thrust when you spin it from the Motors tab, but not when you arm, then you have a flight controller problem, not a motor problem. Catapult FPV says, JB, I'm having a problem with Ghost on 500 hertz, where the controller always thinks that the receiver is connected and won't failsafe. Catapult, so first of all, let's distinguish the word failsafe very carefully. Okay? Failsafe is something that the receiver and the flight controller do. Okay? When link is lost, the flight controller will failsafe and disarm the quad. Now, what you're referring to is how in the controller, it will say something like telemetry lost, right? But Ghost 500 hertz doesn't have telemetry. And that's why EdgeTX does not detect that the failsafe has happened. Any protocol that doesn't do telemetry, you won't get the telemetry lost, and you won't get the, receiver still connected warning when you try to power down. That's what you have to have telemetry for that to work. Okay? So what you would need to do, Catapult, is switch from 500 hertz Ghost to one of the Ghost protocols that has telemetry, if that's an important function. Okay? Good question, Catapult. Does the CDIS interface with Betaflight? Oh, that's a great question. FPJV, does the Beta FPV CDIS even connect to Betaflight? Oops. Yeah, good point. I didn't even think of that, and I don't know the answer. Bubby FPV, thanks for a $1 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Richie C FPV, thanks for 10 pounds. I have a quad with 2450 kV motors, 4S rated, that I'm using with 6S batteries and a motor limit. If I was to replace the motor, what would be the advantage of using a lower kV motor, 6S rated, like an 1800 kV motor? Richie, one of the things that changes when you go to a higher kV is that the torque constant of the motor goes up. The torque constant is to generate a certain amount of torque, how much current do you need to draw? So a higher kV motor with a throttle limit is going to have larger voltage spikes and larger current spikes when it tries to change speed. It's going to probably be a little bit less efficient. 4S motors are a little bit more efficient than 6S, but if you're running, that's when they're run on 4S, so I'm not actually sure about that. I don't think you're going to notice a huge difference. The risk of desync is going to go down slightly by using lower kV motors. And the risk of frying an ESC, in my opinion, is going to go down slightly. But other than that, I don't think you're going to notice a big difference. Those are some of the things that will change, though. Tom Ziboro. Thank you for being a patron, Tom. Appreciate your support. Tom Ziboro asks, I'm very randomly getting a 1-second freeze on the control of the quad. Signal doesn't show any drop. Video feed is fine the whole time. But the quad doesn't control for 1 second on my inputs on the Tango 2. Black box shows the values jumping and holding for a moment before another big jump to the other side. Okay, so Tom, the fact that black box shows the values locking out 100% means that there is an issue with the receiver or the controller or the control link or something like that. That's where that steers us in that direction. If it's a full 1 second freeze, then it can't be a failsafe. Because if assuming you're on default configuration. So if we go in Betaflight, plug this flight controller back in. If we go back in Betaflight, whoops, sorry, wrong screen. And here in the failsafe tab, we're going to look here at the guard settings. The guard time for stage 2 activation by default is 0.4 seconds. And what that means is that if you lose signal for less than 0.4 seconds, then you'll see exactly what you're seeing right now. In the black box, the signal will freeze up and then jump. But if you lose signal for more than 0.4 seconds, the quad will fail safe and drop out of the air. So since you said that you're getting 1 second freezes, and I'm going to assume you measured an actual 1 second freeze, because if it's 0.4 seconds or less and you're just rounding up, then you could be getting fail safes. But if it's actually 1 second freezes, then it has to be a problem with the gimbal. Because otherwise, I don't see how the flight controller wouldn't fail safe. So I would lean towards a gimbal problem. And the Tango 2 is known to have gimbal problems. So. Okay. Ivash Smith, thank you for 300 CZK. That's Czech Karuna. Thank you so much for 300 Czech Karuna. He says, thanks, what you're doing, keep going. Keep going. Thank you so much. I mean the support. I appreciate the support. Let's see here. What is this doing? What is this doing on my Discord server? What are you doing? Oh, I said thrusting. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Hey, whatever works for you. Quentin Campbell asks, I'm using the Ghost RC Atto receiver. If I'm using the Ghost protocol, can I still get PWM output on the PWM pins? Quentin, I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. You know how with Crossfire you can output PWM on the spare pins while still outputting full Crossfire on some of the other pins? I don't think that Ghost can do that. I think that Ghost supports PWM output, but only if you output just PWM. Rashid Malcolm Tilmon, thank you for a $5 super chat. I have built 2 quads, and when I give more than 50% and drop the throttle down, the motors spin up and don't want to spin down. What could cause this? Rashid, welcome to the hobby. It's completely normal. You are officially, that's like, you've arrived. You're in the hobby of FPV. Rashid, I'm gonna steer you towards this video. This video explains why. I'll put it in the chat. That is normal. It doesn't mean anything is wrong, and that video describes more about why. Welcome to the hobby. I'll tell you what. People in the chat are talking about Express LRS 3.0. You guys are going to get me to switch. You guys are going to get me to go full-time Express LRS. Here's the thing. There are parts of Express LRS that annoy me a little bit. But I just want to be on the winning team at this point. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Express LRS 3.0, like, you guys are just kicking so much ass that I just am like, okay, fine, I'll switch. Like, it's the same reason people like HD0, I have to say. Because they're just delivering and delivering and delivering. Where's Express? Where's the releases? What am I doing wrong here? I don't want 251. Where's RC? Where's RC 3.0 RC1? Didn't 3.0 RC1 release? Where is it? I thought RC1 dropped. Why is it not showing up? Oh, why was it not showing up over there? That's weird. Look at this, you guys. Look at this. Now look at this. Okay. What have they done? Well, FLRC, the modulation method used by Tracer, and Ghost now, but originally first by Tracer. FLRC has higher bit rate but lower range. And many people said, with Express LRS, you get high bit, you get fast latency and long range. Who would want FLRC? But some people said, and the Express LRS devs were like, yeah, no problem. 500 hertz and 1000 hertz. Ooh, Tracer. That's gotta hurt. Tracer's like, hey, everybody, I got at 1 watt, I can go maybe 20 kilometers at 250 hertz. I'm so fast. And Express LRS is like, 250 hertz, you think that's fast, kid? Ghost has this pure race mode where they retransmit packets. Okay, it says Express LRS. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. Got it? More full resolution channels. You know, I would switch to Express LRS, but the lack of full resolution aux channels really bothers me. Okay. Okay, fine. How do you like 10-bit 8 channels? Sure. Yeah, go ahead. 10-bit? Is that enough resolution for you? Oops, shoot, I've messed up my page. Got it. The problem with Express LRS is that I live in the European Union and I obey the law. Loser. Sorry. No, I'm joking. I don't want it if it's not LBT certified. Okay, first of all, come on. But second of all, fine. By the way, it's not LBT certified yet, but it theoretically could be according to the devs. I don't know if that's true, but okay, good. Excuse me. 25% better stick precision. Why is it 988 to 2012? Why isn't it 1000 to 2000? It makes no damn sense. But all right, fine. Wait a minute. I think I know. It's 1024. That's why. I just figured it out for the first time in my life. 988 minus 2012 is 1024. That's why the channel's default. Why? Have you ever noticed that? Always the channels they're never 1000 to 2000. They're always 988 to 2012. And you're like, why don't they just get the endpoints right? It's because 1024 is a power of 8. It's 10 bits. Of course. They don't want rounding errors. They don't want to have to do floating point numbers. So they just make it 1024 bits. Of course. Can you just make the defaults? Can you just move the endpoints in automatically? Okay. Now I just literally, for the first time in my life, realized that. I'm so happy. It seemed so weird and arbitrary. But wait, FreeSky doesn't use 10 bits. Why is FreeSky 988 to 2012? Oh, anyway. Dynamic power has been improved. Standard telemetry ratio. No longer do you have to change the telemetry ratio when you change your packet rate. You can access Betaflight Configurator through the Wi-Fi on the receiver. Dynamic binding phrases in the web UI. Thank you. Hey, Captain Bry. We need to be able to pull the information from the receiver and show it in the web interface. So if I'm like, what domain was this flashed to? What binding phrase is on this receiver? I need to be able to see that in the web interface. Are you going to watch it? That's going to be in here. That's still an ask that I have. PWM. I love that I don't have to reflash to change the binding phrase anymore. Better PWM servo outputs for people who use PWM. Blah, blah, blah. We continue and continue. Amazing. They just keep getting better and better. I got to tell you. If I were TBS, I would feel real concerned right about now. Like, if TBS feels today like Express LRS hasn't passed them in terms of functionality, they got to be real concerned about how fast they're coming up in the rearview mirror. I skipped some good stuff at the bottom. What did I skip at the bottom? Oh, unified targets. Oh, hell yes. Yes, don't forget that. Just one firmware image for all devices, all ESP32-based TXs. So now you'll have one TX firmware and one RX firmware to flash. How do you configure the options? I don't know. Crazy. The only thing about ELRS that is, I mean, this is even debatable. The quote-unquote annoyance of compiling and flashing is getting easier and easier. But the price and performance is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. The other thing that still people have to get used to is the mixed quality of hardware. That some hardware is better than others, but I think people hopefully can adjust to it because the technology is just amazing. Just amazing. We got OTA updates yet? Over-the-air updates? Not yet, apparently. No. So. This project is just so impressive. It's so impressive. I don't know how you guys I'm praying you guys don't burn out, because the pace of development you're putting in is consistent with burning out 9 or 12 months from now. And I hope that's not true. But you guys are kicking ass, and it's really impressive. Let's get a couple more super chats. Can I parallel charge 4S650 with 660 HV to 4.2 volts? Yes, Philly style. You can mix an HV and a standard if you're only charging to 4.2 volts. I don't see any reason not to do that. Flat Hat, thank you for a $20 super chat. I have Matic Express LRS R24D receiver. On a Freestyle Flight controller, I get no LQ in the OSD, but on the controller telemetry. Flat Hat, if you are using Express LRS and you don't have LQ then what you need to do is make sure that you do not have any RSSI aux channel. Oh, you can't see. I'm sorry. You still can't see. Hold on. Over here, where it says RSSI aux channel, you want that to be disabled. And that, the other thing is that if you're using DJI, you won't be able to get LQ in the OSD because Betaflight doesn't support it. I hope that Flat Hat, does that help? Happy Model Express LRS module is the Happy Model ELRS Pro is my preference, Spencer FPV. That, I think, is the most solid one that you can get today. One of the most solid. The Axis Flying is really good, but it's a little more expensive. Bubby FPV, thanks for a $5 super chat. 2 + 2 is 4, -1 is 3. Quick math. I believe that's true. Captain Bry, thanks for a $5 super chat. Apparently, Bubby told people to super chat $5. Appreciate you, Bubby. Thank you. Super Deluxe, thanks for $5. Mike Bergman, thanks for $5. Yorkie Poo, thanks for $3. And a question in the Discord. My Tango 2 is disconnecting from my PC or simulator when it gets fully charged. I can't sim with a full battery. That's a new one. I have never heard of that. And I'm sorry to say, Yorkie Poo, thank you for a $3 donation. I'm sorry to say you have to contact TBS support. I don't have an answer for that. Irazi B Productions, thanks for a $5 super chat. Again, thank you, Bubby, for telling everyone to super chat. Apparently, that's all it takes. Super Deluxe, thanks for a $50 super chat. I don't know what Super Deluxe is trying to get Bubby to send him by giving me $50, but all right. Oh, did Bubby say the first person to super chat $50 wins a... Why is Bubby first person to send a $45 super chat from the U.S.? I will send them a Moxie and a Bubito frame. Bubby, why? I mean, I appreciate the hype, man. I don't know why Bubby is hyping my super chats, but thank you. It's extremely generous of you. Appreciate it, man. and people say the young generation is good for nothing. I think Bubby's worth at least $50 or $60 right now. Thank you, Bubby. Appreciate it. You know what? Let me return the favor. Let's watch a Bubby video. Bubby, you put copyright music on your videos? Nope, this one. Should I play the music, Bubby? Hang on, I have to check. I have to check if the music is okay to play. Ooh, it is nice music. I mean, I guess he didn't... It is copyrighted. But I get to keep my super chats, right? All right, we're going to play the music. As appreciation for all the super chats, I'm going to give up the ad revenue for this video, and I'm going to play copyrighted music. We'll check out Bubby's recent video. Hey, Bubby, I know where you got that technique. That's Drew's technique.
Won't you tell me
see what Bubito's been up to.
Can't believe that
You got that Ladrid flow. I can tell who you've been hanging out with. You got that Ladrid hyper smooth too. It's okay. What action cam is this, Bubby? Is it a GoPro or is this a DJI?
But together, when it's dark and we're so blame the weather, I'll shine my light on you. I love you, I love you. I just gotta tell you.
I really like this style of flying. And again, I think the Drew to me is the sort of #1 example of this style of flying, where you're just kind of moving forward. There we go. We got a little look back and a little fanny roll. But it's the kind of thing that could be boring, but isn't. You see, like he's keeping it interesting. Little backwards flick there, but mostly he's just moving through the environment in an interesting way without breaking flow. That's the key. Oh, I didn't see that coming. See right here, there's no little snap rolls just to try to make it interesting. He's not afraid to let it just ride. And there's no hesitation. There's no not knowing where to go or changing his mind. And that's what helps keep the flow going. A lot of people don't have the confidence to do that. They'd put a little snippy snap in there, or a flip. Or they'd do a trick, and that's fine too. Tricks are fun. A flippy flop style is its own thing. But you have to be good to pull this off without it being boring. See, when does he take a breather here? When does he go, okay, phew, I'm going to just fly up in the sky for a minute and catch my breath? Never. Just keeps going. He knows the environment. He knows where the next gap is going to be. And he just keeps it interesting without having to do a million tricks. Just gap after gap flowing. It's really nice. It's a nice style. Not that Bubby can't do tricks. There we go. See, that little things like that where you break or change the flow. Don't really break the flow. Oh, you hit that That's confidence right there. See, you see somebody like Mr. Steele do his style, his sort of frenetic flippy-flop style, trick after trick after trick. And there's obvious skill and confidence there. And this is just a different kind of confidence. Just completely linked up. Did he say what camera he uses? I didn't see what camera he uses. Bubby says there's no stabilization on this one. That's really good. We'll see about that when it lands. Nice blur. Nice blur. I didn't see what he said what camera he uses. There we go. What's the rest of the video? Oh, sponsor roll. Is this a sponsor roll? Well, I guess you got to do what you got to do. Really nice. This flow, the flow is really nice. He said he uses a Hero 9. Interesting. Okay. That's really nice. There's one more I want to show you guys. Is it PDVex? I'm going to type his name wrong. PDevX, there it is. This video was one of the best freestyle videos I've seen in a while, and I wanted to share it with you guys. As long as we're looking at freestyle, I'm just going to share it with you guys. I was really impressed with this video. It's a little bit of a different style, and I think it's an interesting contrast to Bubby's flow. Let's take a look at it. And as long as I'm playing music, I guess I'll play this one too. Gotta love that slow-mo, atmospheric. So, just watch this. This move right here. Oh, I love that. Corey does that move too. That was so good. Let's watch it again. Look at what he does. He comes up, rotates, and back in like a Matty. That's a nice move. I like that a lot. That's clever. Oh. How much balls does it take to trippy spin around this concrete? How much balls does that take? That's skill and confidence, courage. Change direction there, very nice. Let's watch that again. So we come in here like we're gonna power loop, sort of sideways power loop, but then no, I changed my mind. I'm gonna Matty. Very nice. Oh, now here we go. Now we've seen Bubby fly this. Now see these little snaps he's got? Watch right here, little snap, right? I didn't see it that time. Little snaps. It feels to me like he's not running stabilization because you can see these little snaps, and it adds character. Like there, right there, that little pop right there. There. There's just a little edge to that. Now I could be wrong, but it felt to me like it wasn't using stabilization. Oh, no trippy spin. Fake you out. Oh, drop in here. Sure, why not? Ooh, oh, so good. Didn't that look like it was going to be a power loop that was short? It looks like it's going to be a short power loop and he's going to miss it. But in fact, nice. Maybe it was a short power loop. Maybe that was an accident. He covered it. Don't know. Little pops there. Little head fakes, you could call them. That's such character. Such character. Do you see how at the end of that there was just a little and And I feel like that's the kind of thing that's missing when you're running hypersmooth. I don't think he's running stabilization, but if he is, it can't be very high. Because all that little character, boom, that little, just there, just right there. Wait, go back further. There, a little pop there. It's such character in the moves, and it feels like when you have that stabilization, that all goes away. It's just like you got cotton on your ears, and you're missing all the treble. You got no snare. It's just all whoop, 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 whoop. Boom, little pop there. So good. Nice. Oh, yeah. This is a guy who knows how to Matty. This is a guy who knows how to Matty. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Anyway. That's why when I pick on people, I guess I don't pick on people. I don't want to think that I do. But when I comment that people use stabilization, I'm torn about it because stabilized freestyle looks really nice. It does. It looks really nice. And there's no shame in it. You're just trying to produce a result. I don't care how you produce the result. You're a great pilot. But it's just like, it's just a style, you know, like, here's what it, like there's a style of jazz guitar where they roll down the treble and it's just like, and I'm like, yeah, sometimes I want a little bit of treble. Anyway. There we go. So I'm going to be going to see PDevX. I'm going to be seeing him in about 2 weeks. Going to do some Rotor Riot shoots in Portland. So should be good. Should be good. Toblusius wants to know, I just got done with your V2 build and did your DJI OSD preset. Are the bars LQ or RSSI? What bars? I don't know what bars you mean, Toblusius. I'm sure I got a couple more super chats. Michael D, thank you for a $5 super chat. Can you lower the volume from the videos? I did, but I guess maybe it didn't go low enough. Don't know about that. Joshua Hardwell, thank you for a $1 super chat. Little One-on-One, thanks for $55. Reading the Wind, thanks for $5. Northern Tier FPV, thanks for $10. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, I got to get my shit together. Get ready for this trip. Make sure I have working quads and so forth. Oh boy, more spammers. Hide user on channel. Let's see here. I like it. I just like it so. You know what I wish you could do? And there's probably a way to do this. I wish there was a way that you could keyframe stabilization. And I know that in After Effects, way back when, the old After Effects version of Real Steady, you could keyframe it. I don't think you can keyframe in like Real Steady Go, or maybe you can keyframe in Gyroflow. But what I would really like, Gyroflow, you're open source, get on this. I want to be able to keyframe stabilization so that if I really wanted to, I could dial up stabilization except when I see that there's a little pop or kick I want to let through, and I could dial it down and it could kind of come in and out. MK, I have banned every single one of those bots. It's a slightly different channel. They make more than one channel. You just have to ban them all. You can overlay 2 layers in one stabilization and fade in and fade out, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work because the cropping doesn't match and so forth. Just fading back and forth doesn't work. You have to be able to keyframe and fade it in and out. Right? So, like in Gyroflow, you would need the ability to keyframe the amount of stabilization. So. Oh, crap. Mike Bergman, be careful. Mike Bergman apparently banned Quentin Campbell by accident. Take it easy, Mike. You just made moderator today. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy. Yes, hold on. Let me fix this before a person gets banned for no reason. Quentin Campbell. Let me unban him real quick. Moderators, hidden users. I don't see him, Mike. I don't see him, my friend. I don't know. Oh, show 280 more. Okay. Still don't see him. How many people are banned from my channel? Apparently like 300 people. But I don't see Quentin Campbell, Mike. Oh, I got it. I can unhide him right here. No, he's not hidden, Mike. Mike, you only hid his message. You didn't ban him from the channel. I'm not sure that you can do that. Anyway. Sunshine FF, you can keyframe in Premiere Pro, but the problem is that the stabilization effect is not running in Premiere Pro. So you only have the rendered video. Thank you, Donkey FPV, for £2. No, the reason the audio was so loud is because I had the audio set up for Blunty's audio in the news, and it has a compressor on it to make it louder. So that's what was happening. So let's mute the desktop again. Okay. I know mods can ban. Okay. Okay. The other thing you could do, Bannister Post makes a suggestion. Again, Gyroflow devs. Hey, just me out here begging you to do things from, you know, just like an asshole. It would be cool to have a threshold where any kind of like a compressor in the audio world, where or maybe that's more like an expander. If the quad accelerates more than a certain amount, then stabilization is turned off. And it sort of lets it slide through. But it'd be even better to be able to just keyframe and dial the stabilization up and down. So you could manually have like a super stabilized straight move and then dial it down as you go into a turn. And then dial it all the way off as you do a snap roll. And you get the full sort of violence of and energy of the snap roll come through and then dial it back up again. And very few people would go to the trouble, but it would be pretty cool to be able to do that. Well, stabilization, Bannister Post, stabilization is a low-pass filter. That's basically what it is. Squirrely, thank you for a $5 super chat. If I get a quad with DJI and Express LRS, can I use either, or do I have to remove the ELRS antenna? No, you can keep the ELRS antenna in the receiver. I mean, it'd be a little bit silly to just have it on there for no reason. I would probably remove it. But there's no harm in having it. I guess technically it's going to go into Wi-Fi update mode, and that's not like the best, is to have it just blasting Wi-Fi while you're flying. Oh, it's no problem, Mike. I was just picking on you. I would say if you're a mod and you're not 100% sure, you're welcome to just delete the messages, but not hide the user. But I think you can go back to here. Let's do this. So if I just go to Monitor Center here, hang on. So like Mike Bergman, check it out. If you hide somebody by accident, bye-bye, Mike. You could just go back to the message and you can unhide them by clicking on the message. Mike's back. Will it bring back his messages, though? Okay, Mike is unhidden, but I accidentally got rid of all his messages. So, you don't have to go to my back end. Okay. Okay. We are coming up on the end of the stream. I muted myself? No, I'm not. We're coming up on the end of the stream. We got about 5 minutes left. I believe Aaron Ciotti is going to be streaming today. He's going to be streaming in about 5 minutes on his channel. And he's posting the link. And so you guys can definitely check him out. Why do I not see his message? That's interesting. Is it not updating? Oh, it is not updating. Oh. Any minute now. The bars that I'm talking about are the ones right above the battery cell voltage. I still don't know what bars you're seeing in the DJI OSD. I'm sorry to say. Mike, Tobluskis, email me, Tobluskis, and I'll try to figure it out with you. Mike, you don't have to do that, man. You don't have to. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You're good, man. You're totally good. RC Ritter, thank you for a $2 super chat. Good chat. Hope you enjoy PDX and hope we crossed paths. Bannister Post agrees that we want the ability to adjust the amount of stabilization during a flight. Whether that's like with a slider that lets it drop out automatically, or whether it's oh no, Mike, I didn't. No. You're still a moderator, Mike. Apparently, when I banned you from the channel, just as a demonstration, you lost your mod status. You get to be a mod, Mike. Ooh, we got some thunder. It's going to rain. I was going to fly after this, but apparently not. That's okay. Yeah, it'll be all right. Thank you guys for coming out. We got about 3 minutes left in the stream. I will see you throughout the week. There was a question about the walk snail cameras. Which walk snail camera is better? The walk snail people are saying that the 19mm camera that I have, there's something wrong with the firmware. I'm not sure I would take that as gospel. Anytime a reviewer has a problem with hardware, there's a high probability that the manufacturer will say that there was a problem with the hardware or a problem with the firmware. So the most common response to a reviewer having a problem with a piece of equipment is for them to say, oh yeah, you know what? There was we were updating the firmware to fix that, or you got a bad one. Can we send you another? So when Walksnail came back and said, that's weird. Yeah, we think there was a problem with the firmware. Maybe that's true. Maybe. But it also could just be a CYA, and we just have to see what's going on. Yeah, are you talking about the RSSI bar? You're talking about the RSSI bar. That's a DJI thing, though. Anyway. All right, somebody get in touch with the GyroFlow developer and ask him for the ability to keyframe the amount of stabilization in the middle of a flight, please. So you could dial it up and down. Thank you. Alrighty, we are going to be wrapping up here. I'll see you guys again tomorrow night and Tuesday for another live stream and the news, and throughout the week. Thank you so much to everyone who super chatted. Thank you to my patrons in the Discord server. If you want to join them, join my Patreon. There's a link in the video description. $2 a month. Have I earned two of your dollars a month every 30 days? If so, why aren't you a patron? Go join my Patreon. I sure would appreciate it. Or more. I don't want you to get focused on $2. You could do more if you feel like it. It's up to you. That's gonna do it though. Oh, GyroFlow is a Discord. I didn't know that. I'm gonna go join that right now. We're gonna wrap up here. Siati, have a great stream. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Goodbye.